Hello, everybody. Welcome to our presentation today about residential real estate. And we're going to be covering strategies about buying, selling, or holding. We're so happy that everybody is tuned in and everybody's joining us today. And we look forward to connecting with you guys on a lot of different fronts. I am Colin Underhill, and I am the broker at Pluris Real Estate. And I'm joined here today by my colleague, Meredith Denbo.
Hi, welcome everyone.
Meredith and I work as a team selling residential real estate at Pluris, and we have a unique approach how we add value in the real estate world. We've had a tremendous year this year so far. It's been so exciting to see all the things that have come and all the things that evolved, and we want to share a lot of that energy and excitement with you today. A little bit more about Pluris, though. Pluris is a really unique company, and we provide a great value for our clients because we're not just residential brokers. We're also commercial brokers. We help our clients with office space. We help our clients with retail space, and we help our clients with industrial space. So we really value the fact that we understand all facets of real estate. In addition to that, we have an investment management arm of our company. So we have properties that we manage, operate, and do various forms of activity in and around the real estate world. And then last but not least, we are also developers, and we reposition real estate. So we look at the cycle of real estate from the very beginning to the very end. And for us, that allows us to really understand the true and intrinsic value of real estate, and we bring that to our clients so they understand all facets of it. So Meredith, let's drill down today, though, on the residential market, and more specifically, the home that we live in. What should we be thinking about in the current real estate residential market?
Thank you for introducing our team, Colin. As we begin our time together, I want to ask each of you all to take a minute and, like Colin suggested, imagine your home here. Take this mental picture and let's apply these questions to your thoughts right now. Does my home meet my current needs? Should I upgrade? Should I downsize? Should I renovate? Should I refinance? How does timing impact my decisions? In order to answer these questions, we want to provide you more context on the current market. Let's dive into where the residential market is now. The market is hot. Why? We are seeing historically low interest rates for qualified buyers, financing opportunities that have never looked better. We now have a pent-up demand from the lapse in the market that we saw earlier this year due to COVID lockdowns, but still our inventory is low. We are seeing a big shift in the millennial generation, the largest generation that we have. The millennial lifestyle is shifting, and millennials are now recognizing the perks of home ownership. Apartment rent is too high. Financing a new home at these incredible interest rates is becoming more desirable than renting. Working from home trends in the midst of COVID-19, we're seeing a shift in how we view our residents. There's less focus in our minds now on where we have to stay based on a job location or where the kids go to school, but our minds are shifting to where we really want to live based on the changing criteria that we have now for our future needs. Next, let's look at a Louisville market report comparing the average sales price, average days on market, sold listings, and new listings, specifically from August 2019 to August 2020. This is a great glimpse of data from actual residential sales in the Louisville area and how these numbers indicate the strong seller's market that we are seeing. Specifically, check out the percentage growth that we are seeing for average sales price. Now, this hike we see for sales price is a great indicator on the forward direction we're seeing with the price growth. Next, we want to give you some recent Louisville sales that our team has listed or had interested buyers for. As you can see, whether you are a seller or a buyer, it is important to have expert guidance from real estate agents like ourselves as this competitive environment grows for hot and in-demand listings. Bidding wars are more common than ever as inventory is low and popular listings sell over asking in bigger numbers than we have ever seen. Recognizing when a listing is going to be this hot is key to our pricing strategy for both our sellers and buyers. Colin, do you see the market staying hot moving forward, or is this just a moment in time that we all get to enjoy?
Thanks, Meredith. It's so refreshing to see something that is such a positive trend in 2020. We've spent so much time talking about all the negative things in the world, and to realize that there are some really great things that are evolving during this time and during 2020 is so awesome, and it's exciting to be a part of. In terms of future trends, the things that you're seeing here so far this year are things that we believe are going to be longer term trends. We think that these things are here to stay. And really, it comes down to basic fundamentals. Basic fundamentals of economics, where you're looking at supply and demand. And so ultimately, we have a situation that the market is hot, and it's not despite COVID, but actually the market is hot because of COVID. And COVID is forcing the market to evolve. And so we really see four market trends that are emerging, and they're going to fuel the longer term growth. That first trend is we're seeing people that are moving from the urban core of the city out into the suburbs. And so obviously you've got the city and you got a more dense living situation, and then you have people moving out to the neighborhoods. That started, that's going to continue. Next trend, kind of similar, but a little bit different in that you have people that are moving from densely populated areas to more sprawling cities and towns. So think about New York City. There is a trend right now where people are moving out of places like New York City into other New England towns, not just suburbs of New York, but throughout all of New England. Same thing for LA. When you're out in California, in a city like Los Angeles, we're seeing people move from that densely populated area to places like Salt Lake City, Utah, or Boise, Idaho. The third trend that we see that's emerging and going to continue to fuel growth is the work from home trend. And you all have all seen this, heard about this, probably doing it yourselves. But what the work from home is doing is it's really creating a more mobile consumer. So the consumer has a whole lot more options in terms of where they're living and how they're going to live. So that is fueling growth. Companies are also realizing when they have people working from home that there's actually some efficiencies being created. Their employees aren't traveling to and from. And ultimately, that lack of travel is creating more time focused on being productive. Not to mention that companies are starting to master the technologies that have really emerged in terms of Zoom, WebEx, Microsoft Teams, Google Meets, and so on and so forth. And then lastly, Meredith, the last trend that we're seeing is simply a change in lifestyle. People are figuring out how they're going to live their life, and they want to do a lot more at home. They're not going to big crowded gyms. They're not going to big crowded pools. They're looking to build that stuff at their home. So we're seeing lots of home renovation where you have pools being built, gyms being put in basements or in other rooms. But a lot of times that can't be done in a current residence, and so people are making that change by making a move to be able to get the pool, to get the gym, to get the other recreation that they need or their kids need. So these are trends that it's not despite COVID, it's because of COVID. And we're seeing this real vortex of activity that's causing this great trend. And so I want to show you a couple of graphs. This first chart that you're looking at just talks about supply. And in 2020, you're looking at the supply just falling completely off the map. And so we are faced with a situation where we've got all this demand and all these reasons for change, but we continue to have less and less supply. To the contrary, we've got this next chart that shows you a situation of we've got all these new home purchases. So when I talk about those simple fundamentals of economics, supply going down, demand going up, ultimately what you're seeing is prices are being compressed to a point where they're being driven to all-time high rates, low supply, high prices of homes, and then this is all being complemented to access to historically low interest rates. So Meredith, I would just say we're all having a change in our lifestyle. And the residential market is going to continue to grow because of that and so much more. So I ask you, how should we look at our home? And what are, the reasons that and the things that we need to be doing now, given all these trends that aren't leaving anytime soon?
Absolutely. Thank you, Colin. Yes, let's get back to that and answering those questions on your personal residence. Should you buy or sell? Do you need an agent? How do you list? In order to help you answer these questions, let's point out a couple of mistakes that you must avoid when buying or selling your home. First and foremost, you need to hire a good agent. For sellers, avoid the for sale by owner mistake. This mistake causes sellers to miss the mark when making that first introduction of their home to the market. The market is more competitive than ever. Properly staging your home and the price that you introduce your home to the market for the first time at is critical. Get expert knowledge from a trusted agent that you want to work with. Make sure to properly stage your home. It is key to paint the picture of how a buyer can envision themselves in your space. Remove personal effects. Well-marketed, well-staged homes sell, period. Last but not least, avoid the price cushion temptation. Overpricing your home limits the value perception of your home to buyers and creates stagnant activity. I can expand on this more, and truly this is something that is hard for some sellers to get past because mentally you envision a price that you want to obtain, and sometimes you can actually drive the price higher if you underprice your home, which we can see through that competitive market scenarios that I presented earlier in the presentation. So at the end of the day, these are problems that you can avoid with the help of a real estate expert. Colin and I would love to help you. Please let us help you.
So we've covered a lot, and Meredith, I'm pretty excited. This is awesome. I mean, we sit here and we work in this environment all the time, but we never step back and kind of look at it from a 100-foot view, and there's a lot of really exciting things going on. It's actually positive news in a world where we're seeing a lot of negative news. And so,
yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, how do you juggle all this, and where do you go from here? It's pretty simple, and we want to help you bring it together. So the easiest and the best first step is you need to understand your residence. You need to understand your home. And Meredith and I want to help you with a courtesy assessment of your home so you just understand where you stand and what your value is and what your options are. In addition to that, we're going to sign you up for a program called HomeBot, which is going to allow you to engage with a program to help you understand not only values of your home, but values in your neighborhood and surrounding areas. Finally, we just need to stay connected. Let's stay connected. You all connect with us. We'll connect with you in any way you like so that we can make sure you understand your residence, because COVID has changed the way that we're working in real estate.